May 1969, the Black Panther Party held rallies across the nation, demanding the jailed Minister of Defense Huey P. Newton be set free. On the original May Day in 1886, Polish, German, Irish, and Italian working people held the first massive strike in America. Organized in Chicago to gain an 8-hour workday, it spread to all the major industrial cities, and on May 1st was supported by hundreds and thousands of working men and women. But the millionaire rulers of America were determined to crush the people. Armies of city cops and hired goons shot them down in the streets, and the strike leaders were arrested, tried, and hanged. The Black Panther Party today is carrying on the same fight for all working people, white and black, and for this they have been slandered in the press, murdered in cold blood, and framed and jailed by a ruling class jealous of its power.
America great again. You watch. What are we going to do? We're going to make America great again. You watch. What are we going to do? We're going to make America great again. You watch. What are we going to do? We're going to make America great again. You watch. What are we going to do? We're going to make America great again. You watch. What are we going to do? We're going to make America great again. You watch. What are we going to do? We're going to make America great again. You watch. What are we going to do? We're going to make America great again. You watch. What are we going to do? We're going to make America great again. You watch. What are we going to do? We're going to make America great again. You watch. What are we going to do? We're going to make America great again. You watch. What are we going to do? We're going to make America great again. You watch.
To sort of visualize this, you've got to rather think back to the 30s, which has, to me, I mean, the thing that we see going on today, to me, has quite a few sort of overtones and reminiscences and so on of what was going on in the 30s. We saw the advent of World War II rather clearly, overtones and reminiscences and so on of what was going on in the 30s. I mean, Hitler was in power, overtones and reminiscences and so on of what was going on in the 30s. There was a frantic and desperate attempt, overtones and reminiscences and so on of what was going on in the 30s on the part of the left all over Europe and England and other places to stop Hitler at various points. Overtones and reminiscences and so on of what was going on in the 30s. The Spanish Civil War, which is what I ran away to, seemed to all of us to be the absolutely focal point, the one place that possibly the Second World War could be stopped. Overtones and reminiscences and so on of what was going on in the 30s. Overtones and reminiscences and so on of what was going on in the 30s. Overtones and reminiscences and so on of what was going on in the 30s. Overtones and reminiscences and so on of what was going on in the 30s. Overtones and reminiscences and so on of what was going on in the 30s. Overtones and reminiscences and so on of what was going on in the 30s. Overtones and reminiscences and so on of what was going on in the 30s. Overtones and reminiscences and so on of what was going on in the 30s. Overtones and reminiscences and so on of what was going on in the 30s. Overtones and reminiscences and so on of what was going on in the 30s. Overtones and reminiscences and so on of what was going on in the 30s. Overtones and reminiscences and so on of what was going on in the 30s.
It was like a hole that sucked in people that needed a place to stay, that needed affordable housing.
Ultimately, it should fall on, the property holder. I mean, they're the ones that gave us a space.
Another discussion has erupted here, and that's the role communities like this one play in the greater fabric of Oakland. Just where are struggling artists supposed to live, and who should be looking out for them if they land someplace like this? Questions of safety and legality, 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 questions of safety and legality. An entirely improvised living and event space described as a tangled stack of musical equipment and makeshift utilities.
What was it like to live inside the ghost ship?
There's nothing. Nothing. 7 News reporter Russell Haythorne talked to one woman using a Section 8 housing voucher. She says trying to find a place to call home is even worse for people like her on a fixed income.
At first, she got a nice introduction letter from her new property management company. A few weeks later, a not-so-friendly follow-up letter. The letter orders to vacate and surrender her apartment of 7 years by the end of this month. Several of her neighbors, also on Section 8 housing vouchers, have been told to get out as well.
I haven't been able to locate a place, and my deadline for expiration of my lease is coming up very soon.
The property management company indicated to 7 News it has plans to renovate and get top dollar for these Glendale apartments in a white-hot rental market. According to the Front Range Economic Strategy Center, the rental crisis is worse than you might think, and buying a home is out of the question for most families as well.
I have nowhere to go. 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 I have nowhere to wait.
Because one of our greatest strengths as a democracy is that when we're headed in the wrong direction, we can correct our course. When policies are clearly not working, we the people can change them. If our leaders make mistakes, we can hold them accountable, even if they never admit their mistakes.
The sites of the national political conventions are both known for housing markets with sky-high rents. But neither of the major presidential candidates nor their parties are addressing what many communities across the country call a critical need: affordable housing. Resist the process of gentrification.
I do welcome the diversity, but I have a lot of concern about what's happening there because the original people will not be able to live, but there will be very few black people who will be able to afford to live there.
The Ellington apartment building Reverend Sandra Butler Truesdale refers to is one example of what many see as displacement, but others consider urban development. DC's U Street neighborhood, like many others, is in the throes of the gentrification process, with new trendy shops, clubs, and chains opening that cater to a wider and more affluent crowd who are also moving into the historically black area. As a result, black-owned businesses are forced to close and residents forced to move due to skyrocketing rents, property prices, and property taxes.
Homeowners and small businesses are working together to resist the process of gentrification. 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 Resist
displacement.
What are the differences between wants and needs? The contradictions of self, identity made by self, myself, reflected back at me in the gaze of others, an outward want. On the eve of Trump's presidency, I knew I wanted nothing more than this reality to become a disreality. In 2010, when I moved here to the Bay Area, I thought I found myself, or had the realization that my identity was being awoken. And through a lens of art, I saw myself as a being with a sense of place. I saw my home of San Jose as the place that gave me identity. The feeling of otherness that I have had my whole life dissipated. So on the eve of Trump's presidency, when our nation seems to have entered an era of collective amnesia, I'm afraid. What are my wants? They seem irrevocably bound to my needs, and I'm uncertain how to extract them. At the center of truth is want. What do I want? I want to feel that there's a safe place for people to gather and to create, that there are refuges for artists to simply be.
See, it's very important when you recognize that when you have a country with about 200 million people in it, that one of the key things that holds people together and allows them to have an understanding is communication. So that when only the people who are affluent, only the people who have big money, 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 are able to stay in contact with their graduating class, with their childhood friends, with their neighbors, with their relatives, with their roots. That when you start talking about alienation, 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 you're talking about people who cannot communicate with each other. So that when they have these tariffs on the telephone, you can't afford to call your mother in Mississippi. You can't afford to talk to the members of your graduating class. You cannot afford to continue a lifelong friendship, relationship with large numbers of people because you just can't afford the price. So that they create a situation where only the rich people, people with money with means, 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 people with money with means are able to maintain this communication. And this creates alienation, this creates confusion, and this disunites people from each other.
I have nowhere to go. I have nowhere to wait.
What are we gonna do? We're gonna
Resist the process of gentrification.
Displacement.
Overtones and reminiscences.
Resist
Big money.
Alternative facts, alternative facts, alternative facts, alternative facts, alternative facts, alternative facts.
The millionaire rulers of the Maryland city cops and hired goons to lead the traffic.
resist, 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 resist.
make America great again.